Guys, Joe's Neon here. Welcome to Shop Talk with Joe, part number 7. Having a good time with this. Sorry I haven't talked to you guys in a while. It was opening season last weekend. I got much more to tell you guys about that. Crack the old PBR here. Get out with the Shop Talk. Oh yeah. I decided I'm going to be doing, I'm going to wear a different hat for every one of my vids. So this is my camo 8-point buck. Oh no, this is a 10-point buck camo cowboy hat. So our Native American for this video is going to be El Cheese. He's an Apache. Totally awesome. But anyhow, guys, I've got a tremendous amount to cover with you guys. Stick with me. I got a lot of interesting, cool stuff going on here for this video. My deer hunt out to Rochester for opening weekend. I did fill a doe tag. At the same time, I saw very few deer. The wind was blowing so hard that on Sunday we couldn't even go in tree stands. It was blowing that hard. So anybody who thinks that white-tailed deer don't lay down in the wind, they're out of their minds. Saturday was a nice day. The wind started to pick up at the evening hunt. There were plenty of shots going on. Sunday was basically quiet. There was a shot here or a shot there. The wind was blowing so hard. Those deer will go into a deep spot. They'll just lay down and that's it. You know, they know where they're comfortable, and you know, you got to step on them to get them out. But anyhow, I was lucky enough to go in a stand where I had a couple does come down underneath me, and I picked one and popped her. Here's a shell right here, 7mm 08. I'll show you what that comes out of. But yeah, I just dropped it. Dropped her instantly. Put her right through the top of the shoulder, right out the bottom of the other shoulder. Gone, done. She went straight down. And the funny thing about it is she had an apple in her mouth. So the guys were picking on me about that. But anyhow, with deer hunt, yeah, that's what happened. I also saw the biggest buck of my lifetime. Passed up towards the right of me on a ridge, and it was only 20 yards away. The deer was in full trot. Just caught it out of the corner of my eye because I was watching a low gut to see, because I had already seen a deer move down there. So I was watching down in there, and I seen it out of the corner of my eye. I turned and looked, and here's this big boy, 200-pound deer, 150, 160 class antlers. Huge, just amazing. And he had his mouth open, and he was so deep in rut. That deer just kept trotting. He was in a full trot, and I couldn't turn to my right. I was on a small platform stand, so I couldn't turn to my right. I had to stand up. And I stood up, and he didn't see me, didn't even know I was there. But when I got crosshairs on his hide, he was stepping in the thicket, and that's not the kind of shot I take. So it was a great experience anyhow. And, you know, I got some meat in the freezer, so that was a good thing. The trip was great. We had a real good time with our friends, Chuck and Jamie. So worked out really well. It could have been much better, but the weather played a major role in it. Yeah, I'll just show you guys my deer rifle. I haven't shown that before. This is a Remington Model 700, calibered in the 7mm 08, which I absolutely love. That's a caddy round right there. Great round. And I got a Nikon Buckmaster on there. The story about the scope is really interesting because the guy at my local gun shop said to me, he said, hey, he goes, if you're interested in the scope, come on up when it's dusk. So that's what I did, and I went up there, and he took out a shoebox, and he put a whole bunch of scopes in there, didn't tell me how much they cost. He said, go sit out back in the woods and tell me what you think. And I chose 3. I chose a Swarovski, I chose the Buckmaster, and I chose a Leopold, and I chose them in that order. Well, the Swarovski was $1,400 for the scope, and this one was like $200 and 60s, 270 bucks, the Nikon Buckmaster. And the loophole was even a little bit more than this, but I really love this scope, the Nikon Buckmaster in a 3x9. But this is the mountain model. It's got a pencil barrel on it. You can see how thin that barrel is. And that's all for weight. It's in a matte finish, which has turned to a shine now because I've carried it so much. But yeah, you know, that's my deer rifle. That's what I use for taking my deer. So let's see here. My camera. I didn't get it on video. I didn't get the kill on video. That did not work out, which is a bummer because I forgot that I changed the mode on my GoPro to one touch to video. So I was going through my old routine and all I pretty much did was take very short video or pictures, but I didn't get the kill shot. So I'm not going to have video for you guys of the hunt. Sorry, Vivian. I know I'm going to answer your question as far as that goes about video on my hunts, but yeah, my bad, you know. I'll get it right the next time. Yeah, so some new stuff that I got. I went and bought myself a serious pair of sunglasses. I don't know why I went and did that, but I needed new sunglasses, and Sweetheart said, you got to get really good sunglasses and take care of them. So that's what I went and did. I got Costa Del Rey's, and they cost as much as a shotgun does, but they fit me absolutely perfect. I love them. The optics are incredible, absolutely incredible. So I'm going to try and take care of these best I can and, you know, enjoy them. So other new things, Alex Schuler had a great drawing. And like you guys saw in the last video, Soggy Bottom Boys rocked it. And, you know, a bunch of us won knives and whatnot. But I'll show you the knife that I won, that Alex sent me. This is 9.5-inch hunting knife. Give you a look at what it looks like. Very nice. So he had a great drawing, good prizes. It's pretty cool. Some other things that I got, guys. I found this at Gander Mountain. This is a gorgeous Gerber pocket knife. It's called the Stockman. It's got antler scales on it, but it's also a lockback, if you can see that. And the main blade is really super sexy. Awesome. And it's got the other Stockman blade on it. And that one doesn't lock, but this one does. But what a beautiful knife. They had them on sale, half price, for 16 bucks. And they also had a $6 mail-in rebate. So for 7 bucks, what a beautiful pocket knife right there. The fit and finish is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see what else I got going on here. Yeah. Chuck, my buddy Chuck Richards, sent me a tech lock today. Got it in the mail today. So I'm looking forward to putting that on something, and I think I'm actually going to put it on my Gerber hatchet. Real nice tech lock. They're really nice. Cool stuff. So I'm real happy with that. Thanks a lot, Chuck. I appreciate it. Big time. Yeah, so we got to move on to question and answer, guys. It's going to be a long one. I'm sorry I keep saying but it gives me an opportunity to think. One of you guys gave me hell because I was doing my whole video and not drinking my beer, so I got to take a sip here or there. There I go again. I also want to warn you guys, today's joke is, it's a dirty one, but it's a funny one. You fishermen will like it. So anyhow, let's move on to question and answer. Listen, I got a question from Ray and Rodney. Ray from Wild Wilderness and Rodney Newberry. Ray asked me what was my most favorite thing that I built. Well, in accordance to that, Ray, when I think back, a lot of that is about when I was a kid and the forts that I built. I used to build some really, really cool forts. You know, we lived in a massive pine forest, so I would make almost miniature log teepees, and I'd cover them all with pine boughs, and they were fantastic. I would spend many, many nights in my teepees that I would build. But I'll move a little bit further on with that in a minute. Rodney said, what are the things that I'm most proud of that I made? Well, you know, I think one of those things is, you guys have never seen, is my antler carvings. Okay, that's a white-tailed deer antler that I carved a black bear in. And you can see the tongue, the teeth, everything. Underneath here, right here, these are black bear claws. So yeah, I really like to carve in deer antler. I'm fascinated with it. This is one of the pieces that I'm most proud of, Rod. Thanks a lot for asking. I've done a lot of antler carving. I do eagles, I do all kinds of stuff, but it's a bowler tie. I tip the tie with the antler tips, so makes a really nice tie, you know, for a gentleman. So that's something I'm proud of. I'm really proud of my beadwork that I do. All my seed bead work. I really enjoy that. Like doing that. Of course, in past videos, you guys seen my powder horns, my buffalo horn powder horns that I make. This is a fiddle peg powder horn. It's actually got a fiddle peg. That's a fiddle peg for a violin, wrapped in cork as a stopper. And yeah, I've done all the work on this. I've done all the engraving. But yeah, my buffalo horn powder horns, I'm really proud of those too. I've done a lot of ceramic work. Here's some of my pottery that I've done. This is your classic wings from the Army back in World War I. And I made a stamp from the pin. This is all clay, the whole thing. And yeah, you know, that's a really hard question to answer, guys, because I'm into so many different kinds of things, arts and crafts. I'm in 900 directions at once. You know, I can't say, you know, my mother has some of my finest antler carvings. 8-point bucks out of deer antler that are that tall, but the whole head and the whole entire rack, you know. I really get into antler carving. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy that. And now that I got a shop and the cold weather's coming, I'll be doing a lot more antler carving, so you guys will see a bunch of that. So Ray and Rodney, I hope that answers your question. Jesse Martin asked me, what else do I do? Well, I'm not sure really where to go with that question, because in the outdoors, I camp, I hunt, I fish, I backpack, I kayak, you know, I do a lot in the outdoors. In the winter, I backcountry ski, I snowshoe, but my occupation is glass bending. I'm a neon sign bender. I make signs in neon, in sculpture, out of glass. You can go back into my videos and you can find videos of me at work, you know. So I hope that answers your question, Jess. Greg, what's going on, buddy? Greg asked me, if I had a year-long survival trip, where would I go? And my answer would be Alaska. If I was going to spend a year in the wilderness, I would want to go to Alaska. And naturally, I would prepare for it, but it's a part of the country that I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to go and, you know, hang out in Alaska and fish and hunt and, you know, live in the wilderness of Alaska. But busy can do. Go check him out. Greg, man, great question. Steven, Bushcraft Boy. Steven Richardson, I believe. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Have you ever lived off the land? No, I've never lived off the land, but I can. When I was your age, I was doing exactly what you're doing. You know, and my friends thought I was crazy, that I would catch a rabbit, I would clean it, and we would cook it, and that's what we would have for lunch and hang out in one of my, you know, pine pole teepees or something, you know. So I dug cattail roots. I've made acorn mash. I've, you know, I know how to live off the land, but have I actually had to do it? No, I haven't. You know, but that's a great question, buddy. Good luck with that camera, man. You got to get back on YouTube. We miss you, buddy. Wallace Vivian wanted a video on hunting. I'm sorry that I failed you this past hunt with my camera, but I have some older videos that you can go and watch that I shot. Deer Down and Deer Down 2. That was last year out in Rochester. Go check those out. So, but hopefully, I'm going to still be hunting this buck out back here, this 8-pointer, and hopefully that unfolds and works out good. Crag Dweller. Where did I get my rivets and studs for my leather work? Tandy Leather, buddy. Go, just Google Tandy Leather. Tandy Leather. And their site will come up, and you can get anything you can imagine for leather work. So, check them out. And thanks for the question, bud. NS Trapper Hunter. One axe. If I had one axe, and which one would it be? It would be my Grand Force Brooks. There's no doubt about it. It's my Cadillac. It's my small forest axe. And I'll tell you a real quick story about this. I was going through the fixed blade knives on eBay, and this popped up as Brooks camp hatchet. So I clicked on it, and it was a Grand Force Brooks small forest axe. Guy had it that he got as a gift. He was in New Jersey, had absolutely no interest whatsoever, and he wanted $40 for it with shipping. So there you go, guys. Grand Force Brooks small forest axe, $40. Right now there's about a month and a half waiting list, and they're what, $140 a piece. So yeah, I absolutely love this. It does all my tasks and chores that I would ask in the woods. And yeah, this is the one, my go-to. If I had one, this would be the one. But thanks a lot for asking, man. Grand Force Brooks small forest axe. It's a great tool, really is. Really super high quality, and it works fantastic. What do we got next? Army Stringer 150. You want me to show pelts? A couple videos ago, I did show some pelts that were not anything recent. Anything I trapped when I was younger, they've all been sold off. You know, so I really don't have pelts to show. But I do have some mounts I'm going to show you guys that just came back from my taxidermist. When I moved out of my old place, my taxidermist took my mounts and he cleaned them all. And They're all ready for the new place, and he brought them by just about a half an hour ago, and that was great because I wanted to put them in the video. So what else do we got here? Garrett Brader. Have I ever trapped otter? No, I've never trapped otter. I never have. Otter are starting to emerge from the north country of us, coming down to the southern tier. But no, I was never in the proper territory for otter. We didn't have otter, so didn't trap them. But thanks for asking. Yeah, so guys, let me show you these mounts that my buddy cleaned. But there's my 8-pointer that I shot. He's a big old boy. He did a hell of a job on the mount too. Just as nice and clean. Here's a big boy. Here's my Fisher. Well, Mr. Fisher. My Fisher I picked up on the roadside. He got hit by a car. And I picked him up and he was still warm. And I threw him in the truck, and I took him over to my buddy, and he skinned him out and sent him off to the tannery. But the back part of him where he got hit by a vehicle, it bruised his hide. And if their hide is bruised, then the hair tends to fall out of those areas. So the whole back end wasn't good. So I found myself a nice hollow log. I cut a slice out of it, and I made this mount out of it. It's kind of climbing out of a hollow log. That's pretty cool, right, Heath? That one's for you, buddy. So, yeah, anyhow, guys, I kept you guys long enough. I think we're to the end of the video here. I want to tell you guys a joke. And, again, warning. If there's young ones around, you don't want to hear this joke. But it's a good one. Two buddies are out on a pond on their favorite fishing spot. And they fished all their lives together. And the one guy, Bob, he just got married. And Jim, in the front of the boat, was his best man. So they're out on the pond after Bob got back from his honeymoon. And Jim says to him, he says, "So?" He says, "Well, how was the honeymoon?" "Yeah, it was good." "Yeah, whoa, yeah, it was good. I had a good time. You know, I like to fish." Jim turns around and he says, "Well," he says, "yeah, I know how you like to fish." He says, "But, you know, you're on your honeymoon. Did you get a little?" And he says, "Nah." He says, "Honey had a little case of gonorrhea going on there, so, you know how I like to fish. I just did my fishing." So Jim's in the front of the boat, and he says, "Well, did you roll her over on her tummy? Maybe get her a little in the backside there?" Bob says, "No," he says, "she had a little case of diarrhea going on there, so, you know, I just did my fishing. You know how I like to fish." Well, Jim's sitting in the front of the boat. He's like, "Man," he's like, "you're on your honeymoon?" So he turns around to Bob and he says, "Bob," he says, "did you ask her for maybe a little blowjob action, you know?" And he says, "Nah," he says, "she had a case of pyorrhea going." He says, "You know how I like to fish. I just did my fishing." Well, Jim's sitting in the front of the boat and he's like, wow, he's thinking to himself, that's one hell of a honeymoon, you know? About 5 minutes of silence goes by and Jim turns around and he looks at Bob and he says, "Bob," he says, "don't mind me asking." He goes, "But what the hell did you marry her for?" And he says, "Well, she's got a real bad case of worms, and you know how I like to fish." All right, guys. That'll do it for Shop Talk with Joel, Part 7. Keep an eye out for Part 8, guys. Hope everybody is well. Good luck out in the woods. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.